Zach, let the treasure hunt begin. A crowded place, and yet it is very quiet there. Have you figured it out, Zach? Must be the graveyard. There's lots of people there, but none of them can speak. You see? So let's get going to the graveyard.
Welcome back, everyone, to Let's Play Deadly Premonition. Last time, Agent York had his tea break with Harry, and Harry revealed that he knows where the red seeds come from. Apparently, it's somewhere in Greenvale, and he gave us a hint, which York figured out very quickly. Yeah, it's the graveyard. Not too hard to figure out. And Harry Stewart says that he will tell us more about what he knows once we find this place where the seeds come from. And, hold on. Let's take this little back road right here, because it happens to be a shortcut to the graveyard. And fortunately, we can do things like that in York's car without having to worry about damage, since the car is invincible. So many fences. Hold on a moment. Just gotta look.
Nothing. Just my imagination.
Oh, those fences aren't your imagination. Fences. So this won't take just a little while. Fortunately, this back road is actually a shortcut to the graveyard, so this isn't entirely pointless. So York appears to be humoring Harry. York observed that Harry likes to play games. And you might wonder why York is humoring Harry about this. Well, Michael did mention that Mr. Stewart is particular about the best timing for all things. This was also mentioned at the town meeting. Harry did not want to talk to York at that time as he felt the timing was not right. Apparently, once York finds where the red seeds come from, then perhaps Harry will feel that the timing is right. York appears to have trust that Harry is not simply jerking him around, that there is a good reason for why York does have to go through all this to get Harry to talk. And perhaps he feels that trying to force Harry to talk would not be very productive. York does have the authority, after all.
Nothing. Just my imagination.
But if it really came down to it, could he really force Harry to talk? So many arrows. Perhaps York feels it's just easier to have Harry tell him what he knows when he feels it's the proper time, as opposed to trying to force it. And it would be useful for York to find the origin of the red seeds anyway. Yeah, here's the graveyard. We've passed it a few times. Actually, that dirt road that I was on comes out the back of it, so I must have come out the wrong way. But here we are anyway.
Just as Harry said, it's crowded and quiet. Hey, Brian.
Agent. Mr. Agent, how are you?
Not bad. I'm, just playing a little game with Harry.
Game? A game? Is that fun?
We've only just started, Brian. The fun is about to begin. I'd like to ask you something, actually. Is there a tree in the graveyard that drops red seeds?
Seeds. Red seeds. That tree does. And that one.
Well, that was easy. There are a lot of red seeds down there. And a lot of swirling clouds up there. So Brian feels that he can't go over here for some reason. Looks like he doesn't want anyone else to go in here either. He's locked that off, but it looks like there's maybe a gap in the fence back there. There's also a bone over there, so that's another reason to try to get in. Take this path around the back and, Hey, Brian? Seeing this? Brian? Did you see that? No? Alright. Hold on a second. Try it. Come on, try to shoot me. Huh. No? No? This is the friendliest shadow we've met yet. Oh, okay, that got him angry. Actually, what I was trying to do was wait for him to try to shoot so I could shoot him first with the shotgun. And that was, yes, that kind of ruined the gag. Well, these other weapons are fine. But we might as well pull out the guitar as we usually do. Red vines blocking the way out. So at this point, bent over shadows only take one hit, and weapon-wielding shadows take two. We're in a very narrow aisle right here. Narrow passageway right here. So there's not much room to dodge if we need to. You might as well just run through here. By the way, if you're trying to play this game, you may have some trouble using the guitar. It's, can be confusing to use at first. I might as well explain this. I don't think I have yet. Okay, when you're using the guitar, before you swing once, make sure you stop. If you try to walk forward while swinging... Oh, that worked that time. And again, okay, so usually what might happen is if you walk forward while swinging, you'll miss. That is not happening now. I don't know why. I'm getting very lucky here. Okay, yeah, see, clip through him. If you saw it clip through that guy... Oh, hold on. Oh, I'm a stinky agent. Cherry Blossom suit is now officially stinky. Okay, so yeah, let me get back to that guitar tutorial. Make sure you plant your feet before you swing. The second swing has less range than the first, it seems. And you don't need to plant your feet. You can walk forward. Okay, I did not do this. This is a horrible tutorial. I'm doing poorly. There are two swings with the guitar. There's number 1 and number 2. The second swing, just to summarize, I think has less range than the first, and you want to take a step forward. So, like... No, not like that. I can do it normally. Just not now when I'm trying to explain it, apparently. In any case, maybe this is why Brian can't go get the red seeds himself. Maybe he gets blocked by the shadows here. But anyway, okay, so, yeah, if you're having trouble using the guitar, make sure you plant your feet before you swing. Let's just leave it at that, I guess. Fortunately, there is this gap in the back of the fence, which allows us to enter the Red Grove. And there are seeds all over. So perhaps this is the origin of the seeds which Agent York has been finding in these various murders across the country.
Zach, mission accomplished. Let's get back to Harry's. The reward better be good. But you know, about these seeds, they were right here under my nose. It's as if I was carefully carrying a bottle of water while walking in a pool. We're learning the countryside version of common sense the hard way, Zach.
Well, even though Harry is reluctant to speak to us, this was a useful little chase he sent us on, since now we know where the red seeds came from, and there are no shortage of them here. So perhaps all of the red seeds that York has been coming across have come from the Greenvale Cemetery. A dog here, as we expect, where we see these bones. Well, we need that bone more than he does.
A
human bone. Not related to the case, but maybe we should let someone know, even though we haven't let anyone know yet. Let's take a look at those. Got 7 bones: the skull, the sternum, the hip bone, the right foot, the left hand, the right hand, and the left foot. 7 bones, and this is all of them. We have collected all of the bones in Greenvale. Now all we have to do is find someone who wants them. At the very least, we know a dog that wants them. But now that we have the red seeds, Harry said that it looks like the shadows are gone, and the sky has stopped swirling. But now that we have the red seeds, Harry said that he would be more willing to talk to us. Though perhaps we should put on a new suit, since the cherry blossom suit is now stinky. We can't face Mr. Stewart with a fly buzzing around us. It's just not classy. So I guess that's why Brian has locked off that grove. He does not like these seeds at all. If we wanted to, we could take a nap here in the graveyard. But we won't. And we see how Brian survives. He has an infinite supply of green tomatoes by his bed. So if you want green tomatoes, this is the place. We can't actually go into his hut for some reason. So there... Oh, fences. There's not too much in the graveyard. Bit of Agent Honor here and there. Like that. Some fences to smash. And this side quest marker, which you've probably noticed as I've driven past the graveyard. But if we go to it, it's pointing at this open grave? I don't know. But even though we can observe it, we can't actually do anything with it. A side quest is not starting, even though there is a side quest marker. For some reason, this side quest is not available during this chapter, the only chapter where you have to go to the graveyard, so we'll have to come back later. Don't worry, that's not going anywhere. Okay, so we have the seeds. We could talk to Mr. Stewart, but is there anything else we could do today? Well, it is a new chapter. So that does mean that there will be lunch available at the police station. Though actually, come to think of it, perhaps there's somewhere else we could go for right now. You know, George and Emily are very concerned about the whereabouts of Thomas. And we've been to his apartment and he's not there. Obviously, he's not at the police station. Where else have we seen Thomas throughout the game that he could be? We've seen him at the Galaxy of Terror, but it's daytime right now, so we wouldn't actually be able to go in. Have we seen him anywhere else? I think the only other place we've seen him in Greenvale has been the community center. We saw him there during the town meeting, so perhaps we can just pay a quick visit, see if he's there for some reason. Probably not. No reason to think that he's not. No reason to think that he is, I should say, but it's the only other place we've seen him. We haven't really been here in a little while. Oh. There is someone here. Just not the person we were looking for. Now, I don't think there's any excuse she has at this point to say that she was just wandering by. This is really far away from her house. So did she just walk here or what? Someone drop her off? Well, of course, we're going to be driving her home, but first, let's take a look at this. You may have noticed that as we've been driving throughout the town, this really tall pink tree. It's kind of a beacon that shows you where the community center is. You might think it has some kind of purpose, but it doesn't seem to. Except if we run right up to it, there is a little something there. This little ring of fences with some Agent Honor in the middle. Nothing else here. I don't know why it's here. Kind of makes you think there might be something special about this, but there doesn't seem to be. I've been here at night, and nothing happens. So I don't know why this is here, but I'll just smash it anyway. So yeah, if you follow the giant pink tree all the way through Greenvale to its base, you get this. I don't know why. Alright, let's head back to Sigourney and take her back home, as we know that she's going to want us to do. Now, it's a very good thing at this point that we have York's car, because right now, this is probably the first of her side quests that it's really possible to fail, since we do have to drive a long way.
Hey, Sigourney.
I'm glad you're here. My pot, it's getting cold. Please, let's get going.
Here we go again. But it's okay. I need to get to know more about the pot, after all.
Very well, then. Hurry up. Look, my pot is getting cold.
Zach, has she been roaming farther and farther away from her home? Is she testing us, perhaps?
I don't know if she's testing us, but it's been a little while since we've got to know anything about the pot. Might as well get reacquainted.
Now, get the car going. My house is over by the lake. 3, 2, 1, go!
I don't know if she really needs to tell us where her house is at this point. Oop, okay, that's a bit too fast. So as I was saying, York's car does not lose speed when driving over grass, which is good for cases like this.
There yet. Could you step on it?
Yeah, we know. We know it's gonna get cold. Whoops. Hold on a moment. As you may notice, we have a whole lot of arrows on our mini-map, so it's a little bit difficult to figure out just which one we're driving towards. Let's guess. I don't know where I am. I probably should have looked at the map before I did this. Okay, we're heading somewhere. We're heading towards... Okay, bridge. That's good. That's the middle of town. And that means if we turn this way, we should be heading towards our house. Okay, so I think that we're on the right way now. That's good, because I just realized in the middle of that I didn't know where I was going.
At this rate, my pot is going to get cold. Hurry! Hurry! Step on it! Why do you have to drive so safely? Can't you see my pot is getting cold? This is not good. It's losing more and more of its warmth. At this rate, my pot is going to get cold. Hurry! Hurry! Step on it! Why do you have to drive so safely? Can't you see my pot is getting cold? Why aren't we there yet? Could you step on it? If we go this slow, my pot is going to get cold.
I think we're almost there. Yep, there's the tunnel. And our house should be right to the left.
Why aren't we there?
We are there. We are. Really, we're there. See, it's right here.
Slow, my pot is going to get cold. Oh, thanks to you, my pot is still warm.
We somehow made it in time. But Sigourney, I just have to ask. If you don't want the pot to get cold, why don't you just stay at home?
Shh. Quiet. Don't say things like that out loud. You don't want people to hear you like that, do you?
Sorry. I was just wondering.
I want the pot to get a breath of fresh outside air.
Fresh air.
I had a very wild student once. I was forced to lock him in the punishment room many times, but he didn't improve at all. In fact, he just got worse. We all hate being locked up in a stuffy room, don't we? The same goes for the pot. I'd feel bad for leaving the pot locked up in the house all day. It's the same for your job, too, isn't it? The more you chase, the more the criminals run. You hear? The best stew is one that isn't overboiled. Oh my! My pot is getting cold again! Did you have to talk so long? Oh!
The punishment room? I'm kind of curious what the punishment room is. Anyway, she, like last time, she gave us Emily's car. This time she gave us George's car. I don't know why she has the cars of the police department. So, George's car is actually quite good, but we have the best car already. So I'm not going to use this right now. Like I said last time, I'll make a montage video of the cars I didn't get around to driving. So now that we've done that, Sigourney is home once again. What else can we do? Well, considering where Sigourney's house is, we're actually very close by to Becky's house. And since we are so close by, we might as well take the opportunity to redo that particular combat area. The last we did was the lumber mill, which means Becky's house would be next on the list.
Zach, if you notice anything, just stop.
Oh, well, nothing yet. And it's right up here. So let's do a good parking job at Becky's house one last time. This car is much lost all momentum. This car is much better about staying under control under speed. Oh, that's disappointing. Right, so you can't really get out of control coming down the hill like we could in the police cruiser. Yeah, I don't think anyone's coming. I don't think anyone's going to be greeting us. As, no one's here anymore. But if we go around back, we can get to the spot where we can redo this combat area. And, yeah, right there. I doubt anyone will be, in Becky's bedroom, but of course we can take a look. It must smell terrible in there. I haven't even cleaned that up. It's gotta be all dry and flaky by now. So, as with previous times that I've redone these areas, I'm going to take a little break, since I've already done this before, and just be back in a few minutes once we're done. So I'll see you then.
Greetings. Once again, it is I, LP Bart, Auto Let's Playing System and Detective Extraordinaire, and we are currently making our way through Becky's house for the second time. Since last we spoke, Agent York had visited Harry Stewart in his mansion. Harry had revealed that he knows where the mysterious red seeds come from, though he insisted that York find the location himself. York has done so, and has found that the origin point of the seeds is the Greenvale cemetery. This could very well be a breakthrough for the investigation, as it brings up the possibility...
Hold on. See, that's what I meant. That's what I meant when I said the guitar can clip through enemies. Sometimes it just goes right through them, and it doesn't hit them, and that happens. So, yeah, the guitar is a very good weapon, but you have to be very careful about how you use it, because you can mess up like that.
What? Well, as I was saying, this could very well be a breakthrough for the investigation, as it brings up the possibility that the red seeds that York has been recovering from the various murder cases he has worked on have come from this one spot. And while I don't see how Harry could be the Raincoat Killer, being that the Raincoat Killer is not bound to a wheelchair, the fact that Harry knew about the seeds certainly does make him more suspicious. And in a way, Harry is to blame for Anna's murder himself. The murder did take place on his property, after all. George did say previously that he had suggested to Harry to tear down the lumber mill, yet Harry obviously did not pay heed. The result of this negligence was that the Raincoat Killer had a location to use for the murder of Anna Grom, and it was a tree on his property that the killer had tied Anna to after the murder, the tree that Jim Green and the Ingram twins found Anna's corpse on the following day. So, much like how Jim and the twins should be arrested due to this entire investigation happening because they reported it, perhaps Harry should be arrested as well, since without his property, the murder could not have happened. Of course, This speculation ignores one very important fact. Harry is rich, therefore he is right. So we cannot consider that Harry is the killer due to his wealth. But then this does bring up the question of why he was in possession of red seeds, and why did he show them to York? If Harry knows something about the Raincoat Killer, why did he wait until now to speak with York? Being that there have been 2 additional murders since York arrived in Greenvale, it seems that the investigation would have been better served to hear from Harry earlier. But then again, it seems that Harry is more interested in the red seeds themselves, instead of the killer. He has not actually spoken about the killer at all, but rather he seems more concerned about the seeds, as well as the purple fog, which he mentioned at the town meeting. Why is Harry not concerned about the killer? Perhaps it is because the killer has only targeted young women, so Harry does not feel that he is in danger. This would make sense. But does that mean that the red seeds present a danger? There has not been evidence of that so far, but then again, we do not know much about the seeds, not even York. We know that they were the only connection between the murders that York has investigated, as each of the killers felt the need to lodge seeds in the throats of their victims. But we don't know why. There has been no apparent reason for it. In York's premonitions, we have seen that the killer simply shoves the seeds in the victims' mouths immediately before he kills them. But why does he do this? Clearly, more information about the seeds is required. Perhaps Harry can provide this once we return to him. But then again, it should also be considered that the more time we use learning about the red seeds, is less time used in catching the killer. Agent York must be cautious that another murder does not happen while he is speaking with Harry. Harry certainly doesn't seem to care about this, but one would assume that York does. But perhaps that is the plan. Murder is a bad thing. Wouldn't you agree? So then, creating a situation where there can be no more murder would be a good thing, correct? So with that being said, if the Raincoat Killer murders all of the women in town, then it would be impossible for there to be any additional murders, as there would be no more potential victims. That is actually quite a brilliant plan for a human. Let the problem solve itself. Then, all York needs to do is erect a sign at the road that enters Greenvale, that there are no women allowed in town under penalty of death. I approve of this plan. It is practical and efficient. And what is this? It appears that we have come across the trading card for this area. What clue might it give us to this mystery? A bird? There is a trading card for a bird? I do not need to know about any such thing. I need to know more about the red seeds and the Raincoat Killer. I do not need to know about the nesting habits of the red-eyed northwestern crow. We have not even seen any such birds as of yet. I demand higher quality control for the choices of what gets its own trading card. We really should find out who is producing these things. I would assume Harry Stewart is, as who else in town would have the resources or the desire to create trading cards based on their town. Perhaps we can ask him about this when we see him next. What was I talking about? Oh, right. If everyone is murdered, then there can be no more murder, which is a good thing. I will have to remember that for the future. But as for now, let's talk about the game. The shadows that we have been fighting in these combat areas have been getting stronger and stronger. It may not be so obvious, since we have been using the guitar to rock their faces, but if we were using our guns instead, it would be taking significantly longer to kill them. This is the case since we are playing on hard difficulty. The fact that these shadows are becoming so tough makes it impractical to use any of the other weapons we currently possess. And while the guitar has been excellent at dispatching these dead humans, some additional weapons would be appreciated, just for the sake of variety in the killing. Getting back to the subject of the Raincoat Killer, even though we have been discussing Harry Stewart, I still do think that the main suspect is Sigourney, and after taking her home this last time, the case against her is stronger than ever. You heard her talk about locking her students in the punishment room. She obviously does have a sadistic side to her, especially when you think about a certain curious aspect of the town. Sigourney was a school teacher, responsible for teaching the children of the town. But why is she not a teacher anymore? Well, there is no need for a teacher when there are barely any children in the town, is there? We have not seen any children aside from the Ingram twins. Why are there no other children in Greenvale? It is obvious now, is it not? They did not survive Sigourney's classroom. Even now, they are likely locked away in the punishment room, waiting for someone to get them out. But there will be no one. And where is the punishment room, you ask? There is only one possibility. The punishment room is the pot itself. That is why Sigourney insists on keeping it hot, to torment the children within. Shocking, is it not? In light of this, committing the Raincoat Killer murders would be nothing for her, remorseless killer as she is. And as for why she decided to kill Anna, Becky, and Diane, perhaps they were students in Sigourney's class that got away. These murders were simply Sigourney taking care of some overdue business. It all fits together, like a jigsaw puzzle. But that still does not explain why Sigourney insists on having her victims ingest the red seeds. We still do not have enough facts on the seeds to make a conclusion about them. Oh, hold on one moment. Even though the weather doll has been very useful in restoring Agent York's health as he faces this unending tide of dead humans, it is better not to risk failure, and to use some first aid kits to medicate York so he cannot feel the pain anymore. Yes, that's right. Painkillers make it all better. Getting back to the red seeds, we have yet to consider what connection there might be with the red room that York has found himself in during his dreams. York seems to feel that the things he sees in the red room are clues to the investigation, and does not seem to find those dreams at all strange. But there has not yet been an explanation of why the Ingram twins constantly appeared in York's dream, considering that he had not met them before the first excursion into the red room. The murder victims have appeared in the room as well, but why are the twins there? And why has Sigourney not been seen there? Surely, as the Raincoat Killer, she would have a strong connection to that other place, as the killer and York have been the only ones that have been able to cross over to the dark version of Greenvale. But she has not been seen in the red room. There also seems to be a white room that exists alongside the red. there, we have seen York as a child, as well as his deceased parents. But still, no Sigourney. If there is a connection betwixt these rooms and the murder case, it has not been made apparent as of yet. Well, even though there is much we still have not been able to figure out yet, we are approaching the end of this area. Further deduction will have to wait for later. Hopefully by that time, there will be more clues that we can use to figure out why Sigourney has been using the red seats in her murders, and what the connection the red and white rooms have to her. Until then, whenever you encounter a problem, just ask yourself, what would LP Bart do?
Alright, so another combat area redone, and we're finished with Becky's house then. I think right now would probably be a pretty good time for a break. So, next time I think we're going to pay a visit to Harry again, see what he thinks about these seeds, and put on a new suit. See you then.